Hello and welcome to TA for Traders. I'm Nigel Croft and today is Thursday the 6th of April. In this video we're looking at 4 individual stocks. In America we're looking at GoPro. Last night they announced a $150 million 5-year convertible bond issuance. We'll look how we feel that's going to affect the share price by looking at the charts. And also in America we're looking at Staples, which has terminated its merger talks with Office Depot and has had a good move in the last couple of days. We'll try and analyse whether that is going to continue. In the UK, we're looking at Bushveld Minerals, which again has had a good run. Will it continue? And we're looking at Sainsbury's, where the share price is now, I believe, oversold. Please stay viewed and let's start looking at these technicals. Okay, and straight on with GoPro. This is the daily chart, so each bar represents one day, and you can see obviously it's fallen heavily recently and came out with bad earnings at the start of February, which took the share price down, and it's not looking very good actually. I mean you can see the downtrend in 50-day moving average. That's going to cause any resistance on any rally towards the 9 level. Yes, we are getting support from the 20-day, which is this yellow line. That's at 8.29. So it closed last night at 8.43. So that's immediate. That's the immediate support. But really, it's a drifting pattern. The RSI, which had bounced and gone back above 50, that is now back below 50 at 46.7, and the MACD are rolling. On this picture, you're looking for the downside pressure to increase with this downtrend in 50-day moving average. On to the weekly, and obviously you can see since the IPO, which occurred in 2014, it had the initial lunge upwards after the IPO, and since then it's been not very good picture for any shareholders. Again, you can see a leg down would look bad, take it into new low ground. RSI is giving maybe an initial sign of maybe base building, but it's not moving up, so it's moving back down at the moment, down at 39. MACD's flat. The 20-week moving average 9.08 is the immediate resistance, and as long as it stays below there, there's downside pressure. Looking at the 4-hour chart, and again you can see that the 54-hour moving average is moving down, the 24-hour moving average is rolling over, and you can see those in a few hours they will be crossing in a death cross, and you probably then would see this gap filled that occurred back in the 16th of March, and it would be back testing the supports down below the 750 level. So not a pretty picture on GoPro. Now let's move on to Staples, and here you can see that when the merger talks were terminated with Office Depot, it had a splurge upwards. That continued yesterday. What are we feeling? Well, it's gone slightly overbought. The RSI now up to 68. Nothing major there. If anything, it's a sign of the momentum in the market, and the MACD have started to diverge, which is a sign of positive momentum. Any pullback to 950 would find the supports from the around the 16th of Feb, which would be good. There is slight resistance on the upside at the 10, which we've found over the last couple of days. If that can be broken, we need to look on the weekly where we're going to go. So if we do break above those 10s, the next resistance is at 11.24, and then the next resistance after that at 13. So overall, I would say a positive picture from the daily and from the weekly. Technical analysts would be looking to buy any consolidation on that daily picture, and especially if there's a break above that 10 resistance. Looking at the 4-hour picture, and again maybe slightly extended, so they would be looking for maybe a pullback towards this 950, but then hopefully the moving averages would have moved up somewhat by then and would have caught up, and they would give the push up through the resistance. So a positive picture on staples, which is good. Let's move on to some UK stocks. I'm just going to take a breath. So moving on to Bushveld Minerals, obviously had a very strong rally a couple of weeks ago, 20th of March. We're now getting this flag formation. Quite interesting if you draw a trend line on this chart through the highs. Let's do it through there and there, and you can see that we're at the projected target level, and that's still a factor to the upside. Does that mean we're going to move down? Maybe just get some more consolidation. You can see the RSI is unwound its overbought position in a downtrend, which is slightly negative, and the MACD are now both tracking sideways, so that's lost its momentum as well. Don't fear though, the key support here is the 746 and 730. As long as the market can as long as this Bushveld Minerals can stay above there, it's okay. If there was a break above the 870 and 890 level, it would look super good again. But really, one would expect this sideways consolidation pattern to continue, maybe for a week or maybe even 2 weeks. Looking at the weekly picture, you can see that there's then resistance back in where are we, September 2013, which takes us up to the 1066 level. But again, you can see that it could be early days on this rally, and again you should be looking for a consolidation. The moving averages have been well left behind, and you can see that the RSI on the weekly is at 91.41, indicating a very overbought position. MACD is showing positive momentum, so expect further consolidation looking at that chart as well. On the 4-hourly chart, it did test up towards to test the resistance levels. It was quite good that it found support on the 20-day. I would expect that to come back and find support on that, not the 20-day, the 24-hour average yet again. That's at 788. And then below there, there'll be support from this low from a couple of days ago, which is at 730. So overall on Bushveld Minerals, it does look good, but expect further consolidation before we have a break up through the resistance. Now moving on to Sainsbury. Here we've got a daily chart, and you can see that we've had a picture of 4 down days, which is obviously negative, but the market is getting oversold, and we do seem to be trying to find these supports at here. The 249 level seems to be holding, and the immediate support here at 252 was just held today, so at support and oversold. Unfortunately, the moving averages are now rolling over, so we'll give resistance on any rally, but at the moment you may expect a rally. Let's look at the actually let's go and look straight at the short term. This is the 4-hour chart, and again you can see that we've had a rally, and it is again oversold on this short term chart. The rally may take us up towards the 260, 261 level, where we're going to get this 20 average on the 4 hours coming into play, with the 50 above there, but at the moment there's no chance of that coming into play. So really any rally would find resistance at that 261. On the longer term picture here, looking at the weekly, you can see that the trend's broken to the downside. RSI is broken to the downside, MACD just rolling over, so indicating that the medium term picture is going to be to the downside. So immediately on Sainsbury's we have found a bit of support, and it's slightly oversold, but really going forward the picture has deteriorated, and further that downside should be expected. Anyway, that has been TA for Traders on the 6th of April. I hope you found it interesting. Please do subscribe if you did. Please remember that my analysis of the charts are only my own opinions. They're not meant to be any way investment advice. And please do read the disclaimer that's coming on the screen. Thank you.